Welcome to the Brandon and Ryan Hour, the show for movies, television, and entertainment reviews and commentary. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Ryan. And as you guys may have seen, today is Thursday, but we are not doing a series review today. Instead, we're doing our first comic review. So that is a true story, true statement. Um,
Comic
so
review about what, Ryan?
we are covering the first issue of ISOM by the Rippaverse, which is a fairly new comic book company started last year. Ooh. Um, yeah, so new comic book company started last year by a guy named Eric July. And yeah, so he started a company, did a campaign.
Did he start a company?
He did start a company. But did a campaign for the first book and sold over 62,000 copies of the book and raised over $3.7 million with books and merch sales. So,
okay.
And so we're going to be talking about that, giving our insight on it. So if you guys have read this book, make sure to stick around.
You can also get the first edition?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so the first edition is still on sale on the website Rippaverse.com. The books are $35 a piece.
This is $35?
Yeah.
This is $35.
Yeah, it's 100 pages. Well, 96 pages of story.
This is $35.
Yes.
Like 3.5.
Yes, 3.5. That is correct.
Okay. All right. What happened to $1.25 for comic books?
Well, this isn't a normal comic book. This is basically a graphic novel. So Marvel DC goes back and sells like all their trade paperbacks, does 50, 75 pages, and sells them for $50. So per page, this is like they'll go back and do like all the Secret Wars comic books, put them all together in a trade paperback, call it a graphic novel, and sell it for $50.
What?
This seems very shocking to you.
This? Yeah. I don't do a lot of stuff with comic books, right? You know this. So like,
yeah, even when we were kids,
this
though,
costs $35.
Yeah,
I got books over there that are like this thick, that are like $12. Why is this $35?
Because it's got a whole lot of artwork in it. It's not just story; it's also the art, the visuals. And I mean, it's actually reasonably priced compared to what the big distributors are doing. It's higher quality paper than the normal comic books that Marvel DC put their stuff on. And most of their books are selling for like, what, $5-7 now? And they're like 10, 15 pages with 3-4 pages of ads in it.
Okay. So a comic book is 12 pages? Is that what you just said?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You've been out of the game for a while. It's not the 90s anymore.
I mean, I didn't even really care about comic books that much in the 90s. To be perfectly honest with you.
Yeah, comic books are not big giant things like this. This is actually, according to industry standards, considered a graphic novel.
Okay.
You seem shocked by this.
I am flabbergasted. This costs $35. It's all we've been talking about for like the last 3 minutes. That this costs $35.
Right.
Now
but comparable books.
But also like
comparable books though cost way more. So.
I mean, I guess we're not really here to talk about $35. So.
But I mean, if you compare it to other books, you're getting a fairly good value. So other ones that are 75 pages dollars are or 75 pages they charge $50 on. This is 96, 93, however many pages it is, almost 100, and it's cheaper than that.
Yeah. I still think that we're dwelling on this too much.
Okay.
Um.
But yeah,
So let's
so
talk about whether or not it's worth $35 or not. How about that?
yeah. Anyway, like I was saying before we were going to get started, if you guys have read it, then hang out. If you haven't, you can go pick it up, and our review will be here later
No. Just
because
stick
we are
around.
going to talk about the story.
You need to find out whether or not it's worth $35 or not. So don't go anywhere yet if you haven't read it. Stay, because the amount of time you're going to spend here is going to be worth your $35.
Okay.
Guarantee you we'll have $35 worth of content. Not.
Nah.
Why
Okay.
am I okay? I gotta get off this. Okay, moving on.
Moving on. So, I mean, it is a story of a retired, superpowered person coming back into a city that he left and using his super strength again.
Yeah.
So just you read it for
I
the
mean,
first time recently. What are your initial thoughts on it?
I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a big comic book guy, so it. I mean, I don't have a lot to compare it to, but it's okay.
All right.
It took me. I don't know. I don't know how long it took me to get through it. 30 minutes. But and I got interrupted and like I don't know. It's okay.
All right. I feel like that's
I
a
guess. I mean, I don't know. Like the story, it just starts, which is fine. But then I don't know. I I feel like they tried to introduce too much universe for one
okay.
book. This would be my only, not my only gripe, but like that would be my main. That's my main thing. Is I think they tried to introduce too much world in this book, and then um, instead of focusing on more character development.
Yeah. So the main author of it, he's come out and said that this was the kickoff to the universe. So he's already got books for the second book of this one's coming out. Um, he's got another book that's already finished based on another three characters that are in this book.
Because there's
That
a
they
bunch of characters in here.
right, but they introduced a team, so that book's already written and ready to go. And then there's another character, Yaira, that got introduced, and they're already working on that book as well. So it was a kickoff point to the universe. So I can see how you would say there's a whole lot packed into it, but I think that was also the point of the book.
Okay. But the book was about ISOM, and they tried to cram all the other stuff into it.
Yeah.
And I think you should have had another book as an introductory book, and then do your ISOM, your Yara, your heavy metal rock band.
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
So
and
I mean,
yeah,
you
whatever
thought
that
the
group was called.
Yaira?
No, the group.
Oh, Alpha Core.
Alpha Core. Yeah.
So yeah, so you thought the story was okay, decent, what did you think of the actual artwork in the book?
It's okay. Like, I guess, I mean, again, I'm not a comic book guy, but it's fine.
Okay.
It's, I don't know. I, I don't know. That's all I got. It's okay. I don't know because, like I said, I don't have a lot to compare it to. But I mean, there wasn't anything that I was like, oh, that's stupid.
All right. Yeah. I mean,
Except for the like. Go ahead.
I thought the artwork was actually pretty well done. I agree with you on the story. I think that the story was just kind of a mid-tier story. It's not great, but it's not lacking at the same time. It does seem a little unfocused in some points, but this is the first comic book he's ever written, so it kind of makes sense. Your first attempt isn't going to be solid gold every time. You know what I mean?
No, it's not how I live my life. Everything is solid gold all the time over here.
Oh, okay. But it was a good kickoff point.
Yeah,
there's a lot of world building. It can introduces you to a lot, which can contribute to some of the overwhelming feeling. Like there's too much overcrowded feeling, but
wasn't overwhelmed. It wasn't overcrowded. It just, I guess, the title of the book is ISOM, and I don't know. It just didn't. It didn't tell me much about him. I got through the whole book, and it doesn't.
That's the entire point. It has a mystery element to it.
How do you know it's the point?
So the next book that's coming out that the pre-order campaign just opened up for.
Ill-Advised Part 2, I'm assuming.
Yes, good job. The cover has a big quote on it. Why did ISOM quit? Or find out why did ISOM quit? So we get to see more backstory in this upcoming one.
Okay.
So it's going to answer a lot of the questions that weren't answered in this book. Do what?
As far as the Rippaverse goes, you said they were already developing other books, but are they going to put them out a little more frequently?
They're supposed to. So this next book is supposed to start shipping at the end of July, and then they've announced.
July.
Anyway, but they're supposed to put out at least one more book this year, possibly two by the end of the year.
It doesn't seem. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know that much about the comic book universe. I don't know if I have the patience to remember to get the second or third book in a few months, right? Like, I don't know. It's just not me. Especially, yeah, because it's an okay story, but it wasn't. It didn't hook me in where I gotta know more.
Okay, that's fair.
I think they missed out on that. For me, anyway. But I'm probably not the guy they're shooting for. Because there's probably plenty of people out there who just can't get enough of comic books, regardless of anything. They just like the medium, which is fine.
Yeah. All right, then.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, my nose itches, and
There you
I'm
go.
thinking at the same time.
That
Two,
that is that hard for you to do, Ryan?
it is, because when my nose itches, my brain stops thinking. You've heard me sneeze. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, so some character named Avery is out at his farm, his ranch,
Uh-huh.
and gets a call from his sister that he needs to go, or she's asking him to go help find one of the ladies at churches that they used to know, their daughter who disappeared or something.
Yeah.
And yeah, so he gets back into the city and immediately runs into trouble.
Right. Like it's just okay. This is weird. So is his name Avery or is his name ISOM?
So it looks like ISOM is a superhero moniker,
Okay.
like Superman or Batman or Spider Man. So, but his actual name is Avery.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know why this confused you.
Because it was confusing as to whether or not he even had superpowers.
Okay. How was that confusing?
Because he didn't say he did when he got asked several times.
Yeah, because he's in
He's
his
like,
street
I've
clothes.
been training.
Right.
I've been working out. I don't know. Just,
But he was able to go toe to toe with other superpowered people.
but his non-street clothes don't have a mask or glasses. So it's not like he's hiding his identity.
Okay. Yeah.
A red and blue onesie does not make a secret identity.
How are you getting red and blue? Are you colorblind? It's clearly a blackish gray and orange.
Please hold.
Okay. I will wait until
No,
you're
go
done
on.
being dumb.
Hold on. Where did that page go?
I don't know.
Just keep going.
But yeah, so he gets back into the city, goes to see somebody he went to school with. And at first, it seems like they're old friends. And this apparently is going to be the main antagonist of the story, named Darren, who owns a club and also
Darren, that's super scary.
yeah, and apparently also does shady stuff on the side, like has a criminal empire as well. And he just flat out admits it to this guy that he once went to school with, which seemed a little odd. Like if you were doing illegal stuff, it's not like you go out and advertise it to everybody. But okay, I guess that's one way to portray a villain or an antagonist.
Yeah. And I mean, honestly, we haven't seen him do anything wrong, technically. Just some punk shows up at his club and
Well, he flat out said that he does criminal stuff in his conversation with him. Yes, he did.
I know he did, but that
Okay,
doesn't
but we
mean
haven't seen it.
anything.
You are
Yeah,
correct.
he hasn't done anything untoward. He
Right.
just said, I'm a big bad guy. Okay, guy. Are
Yeah.
you? Because most big bad guys don't go around talking about it.
Yeah, but then later in the
Or are
story
you
when he's
just
talking
some
to
low level club owner that is thinks he's bigger than he is?
I mean that could be a possibility too.
Good.
But yeah, apparently he hires superpowered people too, so you get the first kind of action scene. And then he gets beat the first time, thrown out of the club, runs into some other superpowered person who's not supposed to be in the city for some reason that we don't know yet.
Yeah, I was confused on that.
Yeah.
But
There
anyway,
seemed to be a little bit of a jump as to why she was there and why she
and like,
decided to fight this guy.
yeah, it didn't make a whole lot of sense. And I mean, it. Let's see.
What are we seeing?
No, okay, yeah, it was right. It's Yara,
Yaira.
whatever. So she's fighting the Alpha Core, and then like 5 minutes later, he gets thrown out of the bar or the club and smashes into her.
Yep.
So okay,
Yeah, and then he says that he's not one of the superpowered cops of the Alpha Corps, and she asks him, "Why are you so strong then?" And continues to fight him when he says, "I'm not one of them." Still
yeah, and then she throws him.
into a car. Yep.
Well, she lets him go, and then he just happened to hit a car.
No, she didn't just let him go. If you look at it, that was a throw. She threw him towards the car.
It looked like he aimed for the car because he flipped.
Okay. Anyway, she threw him towards the ground. She didn't just drop him.
Whatever. Gravity. She was
Yeah.
trying to kill him.
Right. I mean, that's
For
a fair point.
reasons.
But he survives, gets taken to a hospital, and then just leaves the hospital because apparently they don't have good security, I guess. And I don't understand why.
Nobody needs security. Anyway.
Right, but he snuck out of the hospital. Like he didn't check himself out. So I'm wondering if there's more backstory, like superpowered people are supposed to
Well,
register their powers, or
the doctor and nurse were talking about it and said that they ran the tests and he didn't come back as one of them.
yeah.
So that's another thing that's showing. Is like, okay, does he really have superpowers or not? Like, what is this thing?
But I mean, it looks like he has super strength based on a lot of stuff that happens.
Yeah. So.
Yep. And then what it cuts back over to Darren and his club talking to his people, saying that they need to be more scary because they need to maintain their hold on whatever empire they have.
Yeah, and then there's like some other lady with superpowers and another guy with superpowers at the club,
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
and
Yeah,
talking about buying the club or something. It's like, okay, I don't.
yeah, I have no idea
And
who
then
those people are, or
they just
what
introduce them in like a few frames, and then they're gone.
and they're gone. Yeah, just
It's
disappear.
like a bunch of stuff in the book. That's why I'm like, eh.
Yeah, so ISOM goes back to the club for a second time after talking to his sister and his niece.
Like, he's just going back for like no reason.
Well, he's still trying to find the girl that he was talking to, but yeah, he
Not
said
really.
his internal monologue said that he had no plan and that he still wanted to fight Darren and put him in his place, basically.
Yeah, for talking down to him.
Right. But then he runs
Weird.
into the girl he's looking for,
Yeah, he runs
and
into
she
her on the street
doesn't.
and she was fine.
Well, I mean, they say that she looks scared or whatever. Like he mentions that later on.
But
But yeah,
she's
she's
just walking around the streets. It's not like she's
right. It's not like she's running. It's not like she's trying to
yeah.
or screaming and whatnot. So
Looked like she was just going
she's
to work.
yeah, she's an adult making some decisions. We don't know like what's going on yet, which I think kind of is part of the mystery, I guess.
Oh,
But
didn't sell it for me.
okay. Yeah, gets into another fight with people working at this club, including the big, strong, superpowered guy,
Mm-hmm.
and knocks him into a wall and then has to run from the police because I guess these police are crooked.
Well, no, he just killed a man.
I don't know if he killed him. He rammed him into a brick wall, though.
Yeah. I mean, if you saw somebody throw somebody through a brick wall, you're probably not gonna arrest the guy that got thrown through the brick wall first. You're gonna arrest the other guy first. And
Okay.
find out what happened.
Yeah, that's fair. But they also knew who the other guy was. Like they mentioned his name. Yeah, they mentioned his name as they were walking up.
Oh, okay.
And he was like, "Why are you coming after me when you know who this guy is?" And they tell him to get on the ground, and he just takes off running.
Yeah, and I guess he gets into the back of a truck.
Well, he jumps over.
I couldn't see what was going on there.
Yeah, so he ran up a wall, ran across a rooftop, and then went towards his truck.
Okay. Oh, that was his truck.
Yeah, that's the truck he's been driving around.
Okay. Cool. Don't care.
All right. Yeah, and then he goes back to the guy who originally gave him his uniform, his costume.
His super suit?
His super suit, yes.
Super suit.
And
if
then
he's gonna run around in not a super suit, he shouldn't wear baggy clothes like a hoodie that people can grab onto. That just seems ill-advised.
It's funny because it's the name of the arc, but okay.
No, look at that, it is.
Did you not do that intentionally?
Nope, was not intentional.
I thought it was, but all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then he talks to the guy who apparently makes a lot of super suits or costumes for people now.
Yeah, like
and has made a whole bunch of money.
Like he makes so many super suits that he has multiple like hidden locations with materials that are not of this world.
Yeah.
And if he wanted Avery to not be anymore, he would be dead.
Yep.
Like, that's a lot of business.
I mean, unless you're charging like $1 million a suit.
But still, like, that's a lot of business. Like, how many freaking superheroes are in this universe?
I have no idea.
Where all of them only go to him for their luchador outfits.
Okay.
That's the first thing I thought of when he was like, I don't make wrestling costumes anymore. I'm like, did you used to make luchador masks? Now you make superhero costumes for the world?
Yeah, apparently.
In this, like, yeah, I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, and then he gets his old costume back and then puts it on, and that's basically where the story ends.
Yeah. And this scene was not in the book.
Uh-huh. It's called a cover. Have you never seen a cover of a comic book before? It's not always.
Usually, they correlate to the story.
Yeah, but they fought, so that is technically a fight between them.
They didn't have this fight.
They didn't have those costumes on. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. Okay.
Okay, what?
I mean, I don't know. You seem to enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the thought the artwork was really well done. Um, I do agree with you that the story was a little lacking, but I can give a little bit of grace knowing that it's the kickoff point to the entire company, and it's the company owner's first attempt at writing a comic book. So I can give some grace there, but you do have a valid point. It is kind of lacking in the story.
Okay. Yeah, a little bit. A little bit. Um. I don't know.
Well, that's fantastic that you don't
So
know.
I don't know. Um. Okay, so you said there's more coming out. There's number 2 is coming out next month.
Yeah, so number 2, he's already opened up the new campaign. So the first one that he did last year raised $3.7 million, and this new one that he just started the campaign for has already raised over 1.5 million, and it's been live for like a week, maybe a week and a half.
Um. Okay. So there's definitely been some fall off.
Well, I don't. I mean, yeah, probably because the first series he sold 62,000 books, and he's at about 15 right now. The campaigns that he's been doing are 75 days though, so there's still a lot of time for
Oh,
more
okay.
people to show up and buy.
I guess we'll see.
And yeah, I mean, we'll see how it goes. But
Did you
he,
already buy them?
yeah, I bought some because I'm interested in his company. I want to see him actually succeed because so many comics now are pushing all this identity politics junk. Every comic book has to have a gay character.
Socialism.
Yeah, every character is now gay that wasn't gay before. Every comic book's got to be inclusive. So,
Hmm. And it's
and they also don't keep up with uh, any type of continuity. Like every few years, DC and Marvel like, hey, everything that you read before, we're just going to reboot it now. You
let's start
spent
over.
5, 10, 15 years reading these characters. We're going to start all over. They don't know each other, and people have changed now,
Yeah.
which gets real old all the time.
Yeah, doing the resets. I don't know. I guess you could do it like occasionally throughout the lifetime. Like Superman, right? Is it 80 years old?
Yeah,
I guess you could reset and do something different, but not as frequently as they've been doing it lately.
yeah. And also, like that's one of the big things that this company isn't going to do. They've come out with like a list of their core principles. So they
Mm-hmm.
want people to actually follow storylines, keep a consistent continuity. They're not going to have offshoots of different dimensions or multiverses. So it's
Hmm.
all set in one universe. Um, they're not going to go in on all the social justice stuff. Like he's not trying to be political with any of the stories.
Hmm.
So
That's interesting. If he can maintain
yeah,
um, a decent story.
right.
Hmm.
But
And
and then
there's like,
also
I don't know.
also on this campaign, he is doing something different. He's allowing people to actually donate books to a charity that provides children in hospitals, like cancer patients or people or kids that are terminally ill. They provide them with comic books to give them stuff to read and enjoy while they're going through hospital care, which is kind of nice.
Yeah. I guess. Unless you read 2 comic books and then
Yeah. Okay.
you you die because before the third one comes out because they're taking forever.
I mean, that's a little morbid, but all right.
You said it.
All right.
But I mean, I like the program. It's a nice program to
Yeah.
give something to sick kids.
Yep.
Cool. Who are these other people?
Those are actual people who've worked at Marvel and DC. So uh, Cliff Richards was the guy who did all the artwork, and
Okay.
then Gabe El Taib is the one who did all the coloring.
Oh, okay.
And
Cool.
so Gabe El Taib had worked for DC for a while, and then got ticked off with what they were doing with Superman because he doesn't stand for truth, justice, and the American way anymore, and
Mm-hmm.
he's not
Yeah.
pro America, pro American ideals
He's
anymore. He's
he's
now
a world hero or something
yeah.
like that. Yeah, something
So he
odd.
got irritated with a lot of stuff DC was doing, so he left. Don't remember what all Cliff Richards has done, but
Couldn't tell you.
yeah, I don't remember at all. Looks like he's done some stuff with DC before.
Okay.
But then, yeah, so Eric July is writing all the ISOM books, but
So
they've
he's writing
announced
it, them all.
the ones featuring ISOM, yes. But
Okay.
they're doing the Alpha Core one next, and they got a comic legend, like someone who's worked at both Marvel and DC for 20, 30 years.
Oh, okay.
And
He's
what
gonna
is his
write
name?
that one.
Chuck Dixon, who's writing the Alpha Core one.
What did he write?
He's done a lot of Batman stuff. He's done, pretty sure he's done the Punisher as well. For
Okay, that's cool.
yeah,
So they actually got someone with tons of experience.
yeah.
That's cool.
So seems to be a growing venture. So
Yeah,
it'll be nice to see how well it takes off
it's kind
and
of hard
if
to
it can
talk
be
about it when
sustainable.
you literally only have one piece of content, so
Yeah,
it's hard to judge it right now. But that's why I'm like, I don't know. It's just okay because I don't have. There's not a whole lot of
right. You just have the
story.
first kickoff issue, and that's
Yeah,
it.
right.
It would be like going back in time when the first Action Comics came out with Superman on the cover. Like you
Yeah,
didn't know what the company was going to do at all.
right. Yeah, you're like, what is this stupid guy in red spandex doing?
Yeah,
So yeah. All right. Well, that's cool. So we're gonna keep talking about these $35 books.
I mean, if you want to, we can. Or this could be our first and only comic review. But that is also
Yeah.
up to the audience. So if you
If
guys want to
you
see more of
if
this,
the audience wants to see us go broke buying comic books, that
then they should definitely leave comments down below.
yeah, because apparently comic books are really expensive for reasons
Yeah.
that I don't know. I just doesn't make any sense to me still, and it's bugging me.
I
Clearly.
mean, artwork and
Uh,
story takes money to produce. So,
does it?
yeah.
AI has been coming a long way with these pictures. soon there'll probably be AI comic books.
Yeah, I
Where
wouldn't.
some idiot
don't-
is just putting in prompts into a AI generator and coming up with a awful story.
Yeah, I could see that happening. I don't think it's that far fetched.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so ISOM number 1 on a scale of 1 to 10, where would you rank it?
I don't know. It's not Superman. It's
Yeah,
not a
it's not
Superman
Superman.
comic book. It's
Right.
not Batman. So below those, but I also have only literally have only read a handful of comic books ever.
Okay.
So I wouldn't tell anybody not to read this.
Okay.
It's bad. So I don't know. I give it a 6. I would say
Okay.
it's 6 out of
10. All right.
I have nothing to base it off of.
Yeah, I was gonna go with like a 7.2, so that's fine. Seems like a respectable score.
Yeah, I mean, it's not awful.
Right.
Price tag is.
Do what? I didn't hear what you said.
I said the price tag is.
Oh, okay. I don't
There's
think
no
it's that
way I would
unreasonable.
pay $35 for this.
Okay. I mean, it's cheaper than going for a Marvel and DC graphic novel, so
It's not cheaper than going to the movie.
I mean, depending on snacks and stuff, and you get physical media you can hold in your hand and keep forever.
I keep on a shelf and not look at it ever again.
Yeah, but if you go to the movies and you're buying popcorn or a drink and candy, you're easily blowing $35. Easy.
Right. Well, I can still buy
And
popcorn and candy and read
right,
this.
but it's a
Food
one-time
and
thing.
snacks aren't. The movie
Right, but
costs $14.
yeah, and you get to watch it once and you don't have it anymore.
I'm never gonna read this again.
Okay.
Because for me, there's so little content here, I don't need to reread it because
Yeah, but you also now have the first issue that's ever been created. So who knows, in 5-10 years you can turn around and sell it if you don't want it anymore.
so I should not.
So there's also
just
a
throw it
collector
on the
aspect
shelf.
too. Yeah. There's also a collector aspect to comic books.
Just wipe off these fingerprints. I guess that's true because there's always a million comic books on sale at comic book conventions and stuff.
Yeah, and like first issues go for a crap ton of money later on. Like the first issue where Spider-Man showed up, sold a copy that was in good condition sold for like 2-3 million or something stupid like that a couple years ago.
Yeah, but it's Spider-Man and it is also
Right, and it's been around for a
70
while.
years old.
Right.
So I'll
I
be
agree with
dead
you.
I might be dead in 70 years.
Right, I'm just saying.
If this
10,
is
15
worth
years.
$2 million in 70 years, then I mean, I guess $2 million won't be a lot in 70 years though. It'd only be like $100 now. But it's more than 35, so it's still a profit.
Oh no, I lied. The Amazing Fantasy 15, which was the first Spider-Man appearance, sold for 1.1 a few years ago in 2011. 1.1 million.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you said 2.3. I was like, that seems really high.
Yeah, it was 1.1 apparently. But still, that's a 15, 20 page book.
Which
tops.
is probably like $2.5 million in today's money.
Yeah, yay, inflation.
Woohoo! All right, well, if you guys like comic books, give us a thumbs up. If you guys don't like comic books, give us a thumbs up. If you guys think $35 is a lot for a comic book,
Hit the
give
subscribe
us a
button
thumbs up.
or hit the subscribe button.
If you think $35 for a comic book is not a lot, leave a comment in the video saying that I'm dumb. And like and subscribe everything else that we do, because we do things. What else? Oh, were you gonna say something?
No, go ahead.
Oh, what are we doing next?
So we have Sundays we do a spoiler-free review. Mondays we do a full in-depth
movie.
review of a movie. And which one were we doing this upcoming Monday? We're doing a movie. We're watching a movie and reviewing it. And then Thursdays are our
We're doing
series review or comic reviews or other types of discussions.
Yeah, we just talk about things sometimes. This Monday we're doing the Indiana Jones
Last Crusade?
The Last Crusade. Because the week after that is the new Indiana Jones movie. And it's not a whole lot going on in the theaters, so yeah.
Yeah, so check us out. For that one, we post both to YouTube and Rumble, so you have your platform of choice.
Yes. And all right. Well, I'm done.
All right, fantastic.
All right. Later.